She pulls away, then leans in. She texts first, then vanishes. 1 minute she's warm, the next she's distant. You're not losing your grip. You're in a game you didn't sign up for, and if you don't learn how to read it, you'll spend your energy chasing emotional smoke. So here's your question to start. What's the biggest mind game you've ever seen in dating? Drop it in the comments, and if you're really tuned in, include the word valorous, so we know you're part of the ones who get it. This video isn't about manipulation, it's about mental discipline. Because the moment you let her behavior dictate your mindset, you've already given her control. Stoicism teaches the opposite. You don't react, you respond. And when you do, calmly and deliberately, the emotional chaos loses its grip. She either matches your clarity or disappears in the silence it creates. Today we'll break down how to recognize subtle tactics, hold your frame under pressure, and stay grounded when it feels like you're being tested at every turn. You won't need tricks, you'll need presence. And when you bring that into the room, the games end because you're not playing, you're leading. Let's get into it. When a woman plays games, it rarely looks obvious at first. It starts with little things, delayed replies, vague answers, sudden changes in tone. Most men respond to each moment individually, like they're putting out emotional fires one by one, but a Stoic mind doesn't get caught in the moment. It looks for the pattern because once you spot the rhythm, you stop reacting to each beat. Patterns don't lie. If she's hot and cold in cycles, sweet when you pull back, distant when you lean in, that's not confusion, that's control. It's testing. It's seeing if she can move your mood like a volume knob. One day she's deeply invested, the next she's too busy to respond. The goal isn't connection, it's leverage. And until you see the cycle, you'll stay stuck trying to fix the wrong things. The masculine Stoic response isn't to accuse or confront, it's to observe. To step back emotionally and ask, is this random or is this recurring? Did she only show warmth after you pulled away? Does she withhold affection to trigger attention? These aren't coincidences, they're methods. And the man who can see method beneath emotion becomes unshakable. He doesn't need closure. He has clarity. One powerful example. She picks a fight out of nowhere, disappears for 2 days, then returns with affection and no explanation. If you respond emotionally, either angry or overly forgiving, you're reinforcing the loop. If you stay calm, say little, and let her feel the silence, the pattern breaks. You're no longer playing your role in the script. That alone shifts the dynamic. Spotting the pattern behind the chaos doesn't just save you time, it protects your peace, because once you recognize the signs, you stop looking for reasons. You stop overthinking every text, every tone shift, every missed call. You don't chase clarity, you stand in it. And from that place, you don't outplay her, you outgrow the entire game. Emotional control isn't about becoming numb, it's about becoming selective. When you're dealing with a woman who plays games, she's not just watching what you say, she's watching what moves you. The sigh when she pulls back, the edge in your voice when she goes cold, the over-explaining when she questions your tone. These reactions become fuel, and if she can get a reaction, she knows she has influence. That's the game. Stoicism teaches that your response to external events is your final frontier of freedom. You can't control her behavior, but you can control your emotional state. And when you do, you change the entire power dynamic. She throws a subtle jab, you stay composed. She delays a reply for hours, then sends something casual. You don't rush to match it. You let the moment pass like weather. You respond on your time, with your tone. Let's be clear. Emotional neutrality isn't indifference, it's restraint. You might feel disrespected or frustrated, but you don't leak it. You process it, then act based on principle, not pressure. That discipline is rare and it's felt. Most men chase emotional resolution. You simply hold your posture. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care more about yourself than chasing temporary comfort. Here's an example. She cancels plans last minute with a vague excuse. The average man either gets passive-aggressive or rushes to rebook. The Stoic man replies once briefly, "Let me know when your schedule clears up," then shifts his focus. He doesn't punish. He doesn't explain. He simply reclaims his energy. That silence creates a void, and women feel that void more than any long message ever could. Staying emotionally neutral is a signal. It says, "I'm not afraid to lose this." And that alone changes the frame. You're not proving your worth. You're observing whether hers matches yours. She might try harder. She might vanish. Either way, you remain centered, because once a woman sees that her games don't move you, one of two things happens. She levels up, or she walks, and both outcomes serve your peace. Every interaction has a current. Someone sets the tone and someone follows it. Most men fall into the follower role without realizing it. When she pulls back, they lean in. When she goes cold, they chase warmth. When she withholds attention, they overcompensate to get it back. That's not leading. That's reactive living. And the more you react, the more she controls the energy between you. Stoicism teaches you to be the anchor, not the driftwood. You don't mirror her moods, you set the tone. That means you decide how much attention you give, how quickly you respond, how emotionally available you are. Not based on her cues, but based on your standards. You don't try to match her energy. You invite her to match yours. Let's say she's short with her responses, dry, distant, one-word replies. Most guys double their effort, longer messages, jokes, compliments, all of it to wake her up. The Stoic man does the opposite. He senses the shift, adjusts his investment, and pulls back. Not to play games, but to remain aligned. He doesn't chase fading energy. He maintains presence without overextending. Leadership in energy looks like this. She's erratic, you stay calm. She's inconsistent, you remain steady. She's unpredictable, you stay disciplined in how you communicate. You create a rhythm based on values, respect, honesty, clarity, and if she can't meet it, you don't lower yours to keep her interested. You let her feel the contrast between your stability and her instability. This is why women test, consciously or not. They're trying to feel your center, not your charm, not your effort, your stability. Can you lead without force? Can you stay composed while she stirs the water? If the answer is yes, she follows your lead, not because she's submissive, but because she trusts your consistency more than her own emotional impulses. When you lead the energy, you're not seeking her approval, you're showing her what your world feels like. And if your world is structured, peaceful, direct and clear, you won't need to prove yourself. She'll either want to be part of it or step out. Either way, you're not chasing her vibe. You're protecting yours. Your frame is the emotional space you carry into every interaction. It's the silent message behind your words, your tone, your posture. And when dealing with a woman who plays games, it's not your charm she's testing. It's your frame. The question behind her shifting behavior is simple: can I move you? The man who holds his frame doesn't answer with speeches, he answers with silence, consistency, and self-respect. Most men try to explain their boundaries. They get caught in long conversations trying to justify what they expect or how they feel. But the truth is, strong boundaries are felt, not described. If you need to keep reminding someone where your line is, you've already moved it. When your frame is solid, people sense it without you having to raise your voice or prove anything. Here's what that looks like. She flakes on plans last minute. Instead of guilt-tripping or arguing, you say, "All right," and move on. She sends a passive-aggressive message. You don't match the tone. You don't engage emotionally at all. You don't explain why you're not okay with the behavior. You simply stop rewarding it with your attention. That absence speaks louder than any confrontation. Holding your frame is about refusing to be emotionally pulled out of your center. It's about choosing when and how to engage based on your standards, not her mood. If she escalates, you don't. If she withdraws, you don't chase. You let her experience the calm resistance of a man who isn't afraid of losing her, but is unwilling to lose himself. There's power in restraint, not coldness, clarity. When you hold your frame without being defensive or aggressive, you show that your value isn't reactive, it's constant, and the longer you stay rooted, the faster she realizes that the usual tactics won't work on you. That realization either changes how she engages or ends the interaction entirely. Either outcome protects your peace. Ultimately, your frame is your foundation. And like any solid structure, it doesn't need to announce itself. It just stands, quiet, unshaken, unavailable to be pulled into games that were never worth playing in the first place. Peace is the rarest energy in the modern dating world. Everyone's performing, chasing, reacting, testing. But when you walk into a dynamic with calm clarity, when your peace is non-negotiable, everything changes. Women don't respect the loudest man in the room. They respect the one who can't be shaken. And when you embody that, the games stop. Not because you call them out, but because they can't land on you. The truth is, many women play games because they're used to men who are easily moved. One cold reply and he panics. One hint of disapproval and he adjusts. One burst of attention and he overcommits. But when a man values his peace more than her approval, she feels the difference instantly. You're not trying to win her back. You're showing her you were never competing. Peace doesn't mean passivity. It means discipline. It means you've built a life, mentally, emotionally, structurally, that isn't waiting for someone to complete it. So when she tries to stir your emotions, or get a reaction, or throw off the rhythm, you don't flinch. You stay present, calm and grounded. Not to impress her, but because that's who you are. And that presence is something most people haven't encountered. Here's what peace looks like in action. She gives you the silent treatment. You don't chase. She sends a confusing message. You don't ask for clarity, you let it hang. She says something meant to test your ego. You nod, maybe smile, and change the subject. Every time you don't react, you reinforce your inner boundary. And that boundary says, my state is mine. You don't get to control it. Eventually, she adjusts, because people respond to consistency. And a man who leads with calm, who makes peace his baseline, changes the emotional climate of every room he enters. She may still try to play, but you've already made it clear, this isn't a game worth winning. You've already won by staying still, steady, and sovereign. Let her catch up to your pace or watch her exit yours. Either way, you don't move, you lead. The truth is simple, when you stop reacting, the game stops working. Women don't test to hurt you, they test to feel you, to sense your emotional stability, to see if you lead with strength or fold under pressure. Most men chase clarity, attention, or approval. But the man with a stoic mindset doesn't chase. He observes. He stands still while the noise moves around him. By now, you've seen what it looks like to stay grounded when things get confusing, how to hold your frame without force, and how to lead the energy without saying much. The man who lives this way doesn't just outsmart the games, he outgrows them. And when a woman realizes she can't move you, she only has two choices: level up or leave. If you felt that, drop the word valorous in the comments. It tells us you're not here for surface-level advice, you're here to sharpen. This is Aaron Valoris, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay still, stay in control.